I've done this before.
Yeah.
It's just this one eye. Um, I wanted to. I was going to start with two truths and a lie. I texted Shaun, and then I changed my mind because, dude, I have no more. I have no memory. I started thinking about it, and then I thought, like, okay, there's a time that I got peed on in the fraternity. I'm sure I talked about it on the podcast. There was a time that this happened, and I don't know what I've talked about, what I haven't. It's kind of scary, dude. My long term is gone. I only remember like in the last maybe two to 3 days.
Do you remember that you put me in your will? Or
What's your name again?
You said you were going to put me in your will.
Did I? No.
Yeah, because of how deep our friendship is.
Oh, okay.
It means a lot to you.
What did I say I was going to give you? My Harley?
Half of everything.
Oh, half of everything. Okay.
Yeah, Vanessa gets the other half. I would take the Harley.
It's a nice Harley, man.
It would be so out of character and off-brand for me to ride a Harley.
Really? You're not a Harley guy?
Wait, you think I'm a Harley guy?
I mean, so the Harley I have, it's a lowrider ST with modifications. It's not like a dad bike. It's like a cool young Harley. It's like the younger generation Harley.
Yeah, I hear you.
No, I don't.
No.
Okay, so are you more of a like an enduro adventure bike?
Yes.
Oh shit. Okay, I can see you on that, but Shaun, this is going to impact our friendship. I think we should talk about this.
I rode a supermoto across South America for 9 months.
I haven't seen you on a motorcycle in my life, so I still think you're full of shit. I don't even think you know how to ride.
I can't wait. It'll bring our relationship to the next level.
Hey, so then what kind of motorcycle guy are you? This is really important to me, Shaun.
Yeah, I'm an enduro.
I mean, besides supermoto, besides the adventure, like if you were to get a cruiser, if you were to get something just street, what would that be? It wouldn't be like a crotch. It wouldn't be a crotch rocket, would it?
No, it'd be like a street.
If that's the case, I don't think you're gonna come down on my friendship level. It would 2 notches.
It would be a sensible street touring bike,
like a Triumph. I could see you on a Triumph.
No, it'd be like a KTM 890 something. Anyways, we're gonna lose our listeners like right off the bat.
All right, let's move on.
But feel free to leave us any motorcycle-related questions. We do need more questions. 657-549-1001.
You would be surprised at how many people are into motorcycles these days, especially women. Okay, let's move on.
Okay. How are you doing, John?
A little sleep deprived. And, I was thinking this morning, one of the things that we haven't done in a long time that we said we were going to do every episode was one thing that we can do better, right?
Oh.
Yeah, we dropped the ball. I think we did that on the first episode. That was it.
We had big hopes. I was also going to teach you a term of the week. I haven't done that in a long time.
You had something when we were hanging out, you said something, and I remember I filed it in my brain, but of course I don't remember shit, so I totally forgot. But you did have something. I was like, oh, we got to save that for the podcast. But of course I forgot already.
Okay. Well, I put things in the notes app for us to talk about
to answer your question, how I'm doing, I've been reflecting on how I could be better. My mom's here. She's here for an hour as we do this podcast. She comes here every week, folds laundry. And we've talked about this a little bit. I need to be kinder with my mom. I need to be more patient. I grew up youngest sibling, talking back to her. I mean, nothing crazy, but like rude, impatient, rude. She nags a lot, so I'm always yelling back and kind of like swatting her hand away. Not literally, but kind of like metaphorically. Often.
This is a tough one.
We're getting older, Shaun. Our parents are dying.
Yeah. And they say that like the older you get, I mean, you get to see your mom every week, which I think is actually pretty special. Most people only see their family like 2-3 times a year.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, if you have, if your parents have like 20 years to live, which is actually pretty realistic for people our age.
Yeah.
Sometimes a little more, a little less. You're going to see your parents like 40 more times in your life.
Oh, dude, I heard this. This puts things into perspective, right? If you're not actually, if your parent isn't in your city and you're just seeing them for like holidays, right?
Yeah.
That's
And so,
crazy.
yeah. So I need to remember that when I see my mom, because I also get short with her. It's funny. My neighbor downstairs, her mom stayed with her for 6 days, and it's a small
Wow.
apartment,
Yeah.
you know. And they got into it, and she was saying it's interesting that she gives her dad way more leeway,
Mm,
and she's way harder on her mom, even though her mom was the one who raised her. And that's the same thing with me and my parents. I give my dad way more leeway. It's like, oh, Dad, it's okay that you forgot my birthday.
right, right.
And then my mom, I'll be like, why are you asking me about this sweater? You know, like any little thing.
Yeah. You snap back into the 15-year-old teenager.
It's
That's just
crazy, and I hate it.
flipping your parents off. But why is that? Why is it because you and your dad did things so you guys have this bond? I know you and your dad just hung out a lot and did like adventure and shit.
No, I think it's because we give dads just generally more leeway, right? Like
Yeah.
the expectations are lower for men.
Oh, so you mean as sons, or you think it's not a gender thing?
I don't think it's.
All
I think it's
children.
just like this is hard. This is hard to talk about. This this goes into a piece of feedback that I have for us. But before I go there, I still want to know how you're doing, other than like you're sleep deprived and you're.
Well, I'm telling you, I'm a little bit reflecting on how I can be better to my mom, because she just walked in like 20 minutes ago and she started folding laundry right away. She brought Logan some treats, and I was like, I got to be better to her. I got to be more. I found myself already, being short with her.
You were getting activated.
I was getting activated because she comes in and says, "Hey, the flat tire light on the Mini Cooper is on." She's probably said this 1,000 times already. I said it's just an electrical thing. Ignore it. The tires are fine.
Yeah.
Every time she sees me, she says it. That's just the way she is. She nags. And so right when she said that, I felt activated. And I started yelling at her. Not yelling, screaming, but like,
Mom, shut
Mom.
up about the fucking tire light. It
Yes,
doesn't
yes.
mean
Like,
anything.
well, I don't say shut up, but I'll say, Hejima, araso, and Korean means okay, right? So like, just like brushing her off. And then I checked myself and I was like, I gotta, look, man, she's in her 70s. I just gotta be more patient. I'm the one who has the tools to change the relationship dynamic, not her.
Yeah. It's our responsibility.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a huge conversation, but first of all, what is it with moms and the tire light or the tire pressure? My mom freaks out. My mom freaks out. She has a Tesla and she looks at the thing and it tells you the number of each tire, and one will be 39, the other ones are 40. She's really worried about the 39.
I thought it was a Korean mom's thing, but I think it might be an all moms thing. There's something about the car saying that something's wrong that activates panic in our parents. And if it's something even as silly as the tire pressure being off, is something that they don't feel comfortable driving because they think it's a bigger deal than it is.
Well, there's probably a safety issue there, right?
Well,
and
it's also the boomers. They believe everything. The news, like whatever they read, my mom will come back and she'll believe things with every fiber of her being just because she heard it on the news. And so if the car is telling her something, but her son is telling her it's not true, she's going to believe the car, not me.
Right. Well, also, it's not even the news. Now they're, it's like I can't even tell what's AI anymore.
Right.
There's like a cat eating a bowl of cereal and it looks fucking real. And I'm like, wow, how'd they do that? And then it's like, they didn't do that. The cat can't eat a bowl of cereal. But it's going to get harder and harder for old people and just us to figure out what the fuck is real out there.
Hey, it also may mean that we could do less work. Like this episode right now, us talking may not even be real. These may be voices that we simulated, and these images can be AI.
Well, this conversation is maybe not that interesting to a lot of people, so they could believe that it's AI.
AI is a little bit generic right now.
They're like, these guys aren't doing really great. This must be AI.
This must be AI.
So yeah, there's a tire pressure thing. Like my mom has like a little problem with her car,
Yeah.
One of the seals was off, and so it was letting water in. And she's like, "I think I just need to get rid of this car." And I'm like, "No, don't get rid of the car. Just fix the
Right.
thing."
Right.
Like, because she wants a new electric car. Like, she wants a BMW, and I'm like, "Mom, it took you a year to realize how to learn how to drive the Tesla with all of its buttons. She's gonna have to learn a whole new system, which means I'm gonna have to teach her a whole new system."
I sound frustration in your voice towards your mom.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm also just an old car guy. So I'm like, if the car's not really broken, like, why change the car? Right. And you're a new car guy. You like new cars every now and then, like regularly.
Yeah. Every 3 years. Changing cars like I used to change relationships every 3 years.
I keep cars, but I change relationships.
Yeah. Yeah. You're a car guy who likes to work on his machines, and the way that cars are headed, dude, there's nothing to work on. Meaning,
that's why I'm not getting
dude,
a new car.
you open the hood, it's just a box. There's no wires, no pistons. It's crazy. Yeah. And if the car just stops, there's nothing you can do. You can't like go under it and fix it anymore.
Also, I think I'm cheap.
Yes, we've established that.
Okay, we've established that. Yeah, I think I'm cheap, and
yeah. Let's not say cheap. Maybe frugal. Cheap is such a harsh word.
I know, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm frugal.
You're frugal,
but that's not a good that's a good quality in a partner. If you want to build something together and keep your money and make it grow, that's a good thing.
Sure.
But in dating, that's not a good. People are like, they don't see the benefit.
Yeah, especially early on. Did you grow up poor? Why are you so? Because most people who are frugal grew up with nothing, so they just it's kind of baked in, and then when they get money, they're still they haven't really adjusted to what it feels like to really have money, so they're still clipping coupons, etc. Did you grow up poor? Why are you so frugal?
I don't know. We didn't grow up poor. I mean, my dad was like that classic move to the States with $200 in his pocket, and like built a company and sold it, and did really well for himself. So we grew up not like, we didn't have a lot of money, but I don't remember us not having money. Like, we had food on the table, we were comfortable.
Is 200 something you are saying, or is that true? Like, that's the exact amount he said?
That's the amount he said. Yeah, that's the story. He he left Australia when he was 17 and went traveling around Europe, and was like selling Levi's in like Tehran, because I guess Levi's were big back then in Iran, and then like made his way to Canada with like no money, and then got hooked up with like Greek delivery drivers because he was Greek.
Yeah.
And
the hustle.
He was hustling from like the age of like 18 on.
Oh wow. Well, my parents also say they came to America with $500, and it wasn't until recently I thought about this. I was like, well, shouldn't you guys have saved more? Like, why is that a brag that I came here with $500 or $200?
Well, that's all they had.
No, I know, but they're saying that as in I came here with nothing. But then now I think of it as like, well, you could have been smarter. You should have waited. You should have waited till you saved a couple grand. No,
that's not how it worked in 1960.
Yeah,
for sure in Korea, right?
My parents worked at a 7-Eleven stop and go for like 16 hours a day. Yeah. I mean, so it's a whole different world.
Here's the other question: how we are the ones who have the resources to change our relationship with our parents.
Yes, but going back to how we treat our mom. Yes,
we are also super triggered by them.
That's what's hard.
And like, I don't know how to apply these tools to my relationship with my mom.
It requires reps, right? So like, me putting a kind of an emotional speed bump, and instead of reacting, reminding myself, oh, I'm actually trying to be better. I'm going to not say this, or I'm going to turn my voice down, or I'm going to just let her nag and be okay with it, or, all that stuff. It takes reps, man. Many reps.
I'm trying to, the way I try to do this is to not, like, my mom has these like funny theories about stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't believe them, like, to be true.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of trying to convince her or even have like an intelligible conversation about it. I go like, oh yeah, that's cool. And I just
Right.
accept
Like no more defense, no more fighting.
no more fighting. Just like
Yeah.
that's how she views the world, and I view the world differently. And that's when I get like really frustrated when I hear her theories or her reality. I'm making it sound like she doesn't know what she's talking about. Her reality, right, which is different than mine.
I have not witnessed a frustrated Shaun. I would assume that if you were frustrated, you would just kind of like, I mean, you speak what you. I can't imagine you pulling on the tug of war rope. I can't imagine you getting into a heated argument. I can imagine you speaking your truth and then just moving on or slipping out.
I usually I start to get like pretty down, or I stop talking as
Yeah,
much.
like a shutting down kind of thing. That's what.
I
Yeah,
usually shut down
right.
when there's conflict.
So I'm not proud of this. Just being a fire sign. I'm the guy that gets in people's faces, and I need to relax and shut up. And um, I don't want to shut down, but I definitely need to lower it instead of getting confrontational. Try to prove my point, trying to win the argument, and all that.
Does that happen with friends though, or is it more with like partner and family?
Less with friends,
Yeah,
more with strangers, partner, or family, that kind of stuff.
yeah. I think I can be confrontational, but with friends it rarely happens.
Dude, why is it that it's so much easier to be kinder to our friends?
I don't know. Because sometimes these relationships are like they're often longer than our primary romantic relationships. We've had them for longer, but we're less
Yeah,
attached to them.
there's some kind of distance with friendships where um, we just we don't react as much. We respond more with friendships. Our intimate relationships, just I think because we're so close, especially if you're living with someone, we tend to be more reactive. And then, of course, with family, I think the most reactive.
Yeah,
The hardest to respond is with family.
yeah.
Yeah,
All right. Well, thanks for letting me know how you're doing.
yeah, that's how I'm doing. That's where I'm at.
I've got a couple. Okay, should we do some? I have some fun questions for you. Then I also have
Okay,
a piece of feedback for us.
principal's office. Here we go. I
Yeah,
say let's hear the feedback first.
because it's connected to the sort of how we started this episode.
All right, perfect.
Okay, I'm going to read it actually because it's not a voicemail. It was a comment on YouTube. I love you guys, and this is my new fave podcast, but I think there's a lot of work to do when it comes to talking about men.
Oh,
I felt that the question and answer when the woman tried to ask if the pendulum of feminism had swung too far, such that men aren't fulfilling their role in traditional gender norms, was way off the mark. It was a missed opportunity to talk about gender norms in dating, our attachment to them, whether they actually serve us, and to do more introspection there instead of generalizing and shaming.
mm.
You kind of got there at the end when you sort of encouraged women to exercise more agency by asking men out, and another woman said to be more curious about men's struggles. But even these are just the tips of their respective icebergs. John even got close to connecting these discussions, but still left a lot to be desired. Well, hold on.
I got close. I got
Yeah, you
close.
did.
The almost guy.
You
Sorry.
dig into other issues so much better. It seems like this is a bit of a blind spot, but this might just be not your issue to take on. Your expertise might just lie elsewhere, and it's on me to adjust my expectations and look for that kind of analysis from folks more in touch with that issue.
I think she has great points, but I also wonder
He,
if oh he
they, I don't
they
know.
oh yeah, we
Yeah,
don't know. We don't know.
yeah,
I think this person has great points, but when we're having a conversation, there are so many ways to cut the pie. When we're any question that we answer, whether it's here or social media, I always answer a question and then I think, oh my God, I could have said so much more. I could have went through this angle, and I could re-answer the question 20 different times. So, and I know I'm kind of making an excuse for ourselves, but um, we do the best we can in the moment. These aren't questions that we sit down, think about, analyze, and come with outlines. Do you know what I'm
right,
talking about?
right. I don't even do
So
that, and I know the question. I still don't think about it before I answer it.
no, we're very off the cuff, right? And this person has great points and something to think about. Absolutely, gender norms and everything this person is saying makes sense. But I would also ask this person to consider uh, the way that we go into things, as far as just it's with 2 seconds to respond.
I agree with you, and I agree with them a lot. Like I
Yeah.
really do think that my strength is not in talking about men's issues, and that's actually I feel insecure about it because I'm so used to talking to women, right? Like my audience has been 90% women this whole time, and so that's who I'm talking to, and I kind of feel like more of a women's ally than a men's ally, and I don't know how to talk to them. I don't know how to talk about them. I don't really know how to talk about masculinity. I was just thinking about the fact that like since I've moved to LA, most of the friends that I've made here are women.
Mm.
Like it's just
Yeah,
easier for
that's
me to
true.
connect. It's just easier for me to connect
Well,
to women.
I think I told you this before. I think you're the type of guy who's got a ton of women friends more so than men, and then you have kind of a handful of male friends. I think you're very you come off as very safe. You come off as someone who is not creepy and genuine, and so I think women are attracted to that energy. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
But
Um,
does that turn men off or is that threatening to men?
no, but I also think you're approaching more women than men.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Although
like the
yeah, this past week at badminton, there's there's a Pakistani player that has like
mm,
striking green eyes, like they're beautiful, beautiful eyes, and he's an amazing player. And he was sitting alone, and I've never talked to him before, and he's one of the best players there. And I went and I just like sat down and started talking to him, and we
mm.
talked for like 15 minutes, and it was a really sweet conversation. And then when I left to go play a game, he was like, "Hey, thank you so much for saying hello."
Oh, nice.
Like I walked
W-
across the court to go sit next to this guy and just like
Would you
start
have
up a
sat?
conversation.
Would you have done that if he didn't have the striking green eyes?
Yeah,
That drew you to him.
well, the green eyes, like on an Indian or Pakistani man, is like,
Yeah,
or a woman too, is like incredible. It's
yeah.
such a striking contrast.
I
Yeah, I
did
probably
a
would have.
I did an Instagram live with Jay Shetty once,
Yeah,
and I was
he's
like,
got those eyes.
his eyes are like magical, like
Yeah,
gems. Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
it's very attractive.
yes, he's very attractive. So going back to this thing, I don't see it like so when I talk, I don't like I don't take the position that I'm talking about them as far as men. I just share my own story as a man, and I try not to generalize. But I think I've kind of become a little bit of a Trojan horse because um, I do some quote unquote man things like lift weights and ride motorcycles, and I think men that kind of like it creates a bridge as far as like self-help betterment,
Oh,
but
I
he
see.
also has some tattoos.
Yeah,
But I never there was no strategy in that. I'm just living my life. I don't like to say them or men should or I can give you my experience on this planet as a man, and that's it. So I try to bring it back to me.
I think that's an astute observation, and also you're not scared to do like quote unquote men's work. Like you'll do a man's
Oh
retreat
yeah,
and like,
in
but
my garage.
I don't do that stuff.
Hmm.
Like I don't. I just don't have a lot of competencies when it comes to talking about patriarchy. And I think I know what it takes to be, for me personally, to be a good feminist, but I don't understand the underlying, you
Men's
know,
issues.
that and also systems of oppression. Like, I mean, these are blind spots for me.
Mm,
And I'll be honest, like I'm unlikely to go and like pick up a book to like read more about it, which is,
yeah.
I'm kind of lazy that way.
You bring up a great point is I think every man, us included, should pick up a book and learn more about other men because we are only us, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's where I could do better.
You want me to say the same thing?
No, no, no. That's where I could do better. And I stopped reading self help like 5 years ago.
I
I,
listen. I listen to self-help. I don't read. Me too.
oh,
I stopped reading years ago, probably 10 years ago. But I listen to audiobooks
when?
all the time, doing dishes, speaking of gender norms and roles, laundry, dishes, house chores, domestic labor. I have earbuds in my. I'm listening to audiobooks
Uh
all
huh.
day. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, don't you listen to podcasts? What's the difference?
I don't listen to podcasts, and I actually have started to realize that I'm the kind of guy who will drive in silence.
Oh, no, I can't do that.
Yeah, I'll drive in silence or I'll make a phone call.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
I'm more
People
likely
do
to
that.
make a
Make a
phone
phone call.
call than I
Yeah.
am to listen to a podcast.
Oh, well, I think silence is necessary. And if that is something that is a meditative space for you, that's great. But
Yeah.
most people are listening to podcasts, I mean, constantly or audiobooks
Yeah,
all
don't
day.
stop listening, everyone.
Yeah, please
Keep
listen.
listening. Yeah,
Yeah,
keep listening.
keep listening.
Smash that subscribe button. Tell all your friends. Okay, so thank you for the feedback. It really does. It does mean a lot, and I am listening. We are listening.
Yes, thank you. I don't want to be defensive, so I am listening.
Okay, cool. How are we doing with this podcast? Let's go meta real quick. How are you feeling about you and I doing this?
Again, another question, which I can cut, 10 different ways, right? So, how do I feel about it? Are we talking about scoreboard? Are we talking about numbers, ratings, performance? Or are we talking about how I feel about it as far as how do I feel about it, doing it, being of service, doing it with you? There's so many different layers to how I can feel about this podcast.
Yeah.
Is that too much?
No, whatever you want. You get to answer it
Overall,
however.
my answer is good. I feel good about it. I feel aligned. And here's how I know. Here's how I know that um, this podcast is good for me. I don't dread it.
Yeah.
I take that as a sign. So I have been a part of other podcasts that I partnered with or was a part of, and I used to, when it came time to get on in the air, I would dread it. I'd be like, oh fuck, another episode. I don't dread it. I mean, of course, it is work, and there are some days that I don't want to do it, but most of the time, I look forward to it, and I like it. I think it's good. I feel it feels very organic.
Yeah, I feel the same way. And actually, this morning I was dreading it only because I woke up at 7:30, so I only had like an hour to like make coffee, bathroom, dog, all that kind of
What time
stuff.
did you go to bed?
12:30.
Oh, okay. Because if you said something like 9 or 10, I was gonna say, Sean, come on.
No, I've
It's
been
not my good
watching.
fuck.
I've been staying up late watching Ink Master and badminton videos on YouTube.
That's very you right now. That's a great question. What videos? Based on your YouTube history channel, where you're at in your life, and for you, it's Ink Master and badminton. Okay,
Dude,
got
it's
it.
crazy. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it so much. But I was dreading it not because I didn't want to talk to you, but because I feel like I want to make sure that we're providing value. And also I had the feedback about the principal's office. So I was kind of like, oh man, we're
Yeah.
going to have to talk about like my inadequacies and ways in which I'm not showing up. And that's hard to do. That's like really hard to admit publicly.
Sure. And the other thing is, you know where we're at this podcast? We're episode what? I don't even know.
31 now.
Okay, so we're at that stage where, before triple digits, right? So we're at that stage where the excitement of launching a podcast and the approval validation praise, that initial we like this, is now kind of fading, and
Yeah.
we're plateauing like every podcast. So now to keep this in the sky, it requires showing up and work. So I feel like it's harder these days, to get behind the wheel of this than it was in the beginning, because we're double digits now. So
Yeah. And it also might
yeah.
require more work, in terms of
Consistency is hard. Consistency is difficult, to show up every week and do something.
I'm just scared that people are going to be like, oh, wow, they're talking about motorcycles and dicks again. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but Sean, listen, man. We can talk about motorcycles and dicks for a little bit. We just can't talk about it for the entire episode. I mean, when you listen to other podcasts, they talk about what they want to talk about, what they're into, and it just makes it authentic,
Yeah. Yeah.
We could talk about badminton, but I would cap it at like 3 minutes. No, but it's the same thing with like CrossFit. If I start talking about CrossFit wads and shit, we're gonna lose people. So like, let's just set a
Cap it
timer
at
like we
3
do in our men's group. Timer, 3 minutes, go. Tell me,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
we're talking Ducati, Harley, whatever, and then boom, then it's done.
Yeah. I mean, people are saying that they feel like a fly on the wall, in the room of two guys hanging out.
That's exact. So if we lose that by saying, well, we can't talk about this. Oh, they're not a fly on the wall. Now we're bringing them into the conversation, which they don't want to be in.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks. I feel similarly, and it doesn't feel like work. And I do look forward to it every week.
Can I show you something?
Yeah.
This is my favorite mug. It's on the smaller side, and it says Sherwood Inn, 1807. And the reason why this is my favorite mug, it looks like a mug from the 40s. We were at this bed and breakfast, and I thought, oh, this mug is awesome. It's just old classic 1940s Art Deco mug. Do you guys sell these? I asked the server. Server says, no, we don't sell our mugs, right? He was very just like hard no. And I said, okay, no worries. We come home, and we brought home leftovers.
Vanessa had stolen the mug. Oh.
I opened the takeout box, and he slipped one in for me.
No way.
And I was like, what an awesome fucking guy. And so that's what makes this mug special, is that the server, I mean, who does that? What server is going to steal these mugs are like $20 and just put it in your to-go? It was such a kind gesture. And I was like, there's still good people in this world. And so this
doesn't take much. Doesn't take much.
Yeah.
I not to toot my own horn, but a small gesture that I did recently was I went to Costco like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And do you know that like a measure of whether you're a good person is if you bring the shopping cart back to the corral?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's one of the measures of if you're a good person.
I'm
and also
person.
Picking up your dog shit, which no one does in this neighborhood.
Yeah,
except for me.
Welcome to LA.
Yeah, and I was walking past someone who had just finished loading up their car, and I saw how far the corral was, but the corral was on my way to my car, and so I said, "Hey, I'll take that for you." And I took the cart.
Oh, that's nice. Wait, man or woman?
Man.
Oh, nicer
Older
because
man. Yeah.
If it was an attractive woman, that would be kind of predictable. But it was an older man.
It was just whoever had a cart.
Yeah, there was nothing attached to it. It was just a kind gesture.
Yeah, I like to do that sometimes. Sometimes when I'm feeling really good about myself, I'm just feeling like I have self-esteem. All right, switching gears here real quick. How do you feel about adults still being on their parents' cell phone plans?
So I think if you're in your 20s, 30s, especially 30s, maybe, I think there's a little bit of a failure to launch energy. But if you're in your like 50s, I think it's kind of adorable.
Oh, okay. What about 42?
You're on the same plan as your mom?
Yeah.
Is it your plan where your mom's on it, or is your mom's plan that you're on it?
It was my parents' plan that I got back on. It was kind of complicated, but I got back on my parents' plan at some point because they had a phone number that I wanted, but also because then I don't have to pay for it.
Well, I guess the question is, who's paying for the plan?
My mom's paying for the plan.
Okay, you need to be nicer to your mom. You need to be kinder to your mom. She's paying for your cell phone bill.
I know.
Shaun, that might be a little failure to launch, man. I don't know.
That's what it feels. It kind of feels like
frugal. Hint of frugal, they'll failure to launch.
Hint of frugal, failure to launch, but also I think it's quite common. I think
it's something no one talks about, because who the fuck on the first date is going to say, yeah, I'm on my mom's plan. She pays for my Amazon. I use her Netflix. She pays for my cell phone.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't pay for any of the streaming services.
Oh, she pays for those too.
Well, no, I'm on various people's plans. Like I have a user account.
I think a lot of people do that, but that's also the frugal part of you.
Well, and like, is this different? I guess it is different. My buddy has like a family share plan, but it's with him and his friends, and they have 4 people on one line, and they're all friends.
If you wanted soda at a restaurant like a Chipotle, not a restaurant with a server, would you get a water cup?
No. I never do that. No. Okay. But I will get the soda water because I feel like that's just water.
Yeah, that would be okay.
We're not paying for the bubbles. You're paying for the syrup.
Okay, you're not the water cup guy who fills it with Dr. Pepper.
I mean, when I was a teenager, I would.
Okay, yeah.
No, but I would only fill it with Sprite.
Oh, so people wouldn't know.
Kind of.
Right. A smart teenager.
I think there's a lot of I think there's a lot of people who are on their parents' cell phone plan, even into their 30s and 40s. Dude, life is expensive.
Yeah, maybe that's not a failure to launch. I think here's a failure to launch if you don't have a job. That's a failure to launch. So I think a lot of people, because they think that this generation, that we're all influencers and we're all just making money playing with our phones and selling digital services, they think that's the norm, and so they're prerequisites to getting a job is so high that they won't just go work, serving, or they won't just work just to get out of the house and do something. So they're at home in their parents' basement eating chips and not working and just doom scrolling. That, I think, is a problem. Failure to launch.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And
My first job was what was your first job?
Very first job, I was 14 or 15, and I got this job just because I wanted to hang out with the older kids, the older kind of druggy kids. We got a job peeling plasma, graveyard shift. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. Graveyard shift. I can't believe my parents even let me do this. So from like 12 to like 6 in the morning, peeling plasma, wearing a like a hazmat. What's it called? Hazmat suit.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing, and it
What's
was horrible.
plasma?
It's some bodily fluid that they use for the medical business.
But how do you peel it?
It comes frozen, and so it was in like I was like Laverne and Shirley in the factory, standing in a hazmat suit. This little 14-year-old Asian guy, who was peeling the plastic off the plasma. Then you take the plastic, throw that away, and put the plasma in a different container. It was manual labor, and it was graveyard. And I just did it because two of the older kids, they're like 16 or 17, they were doing it. They got me in with a fake ID, and I just thought it was cool. I mean, for a 14-year-old, anything's cool. It's your first job,
It's pretty metal, dude.
And we were like dumpster diving. Next door was a Hostess factory, and they threw away all the Hostess products that even were like a day old. So we jump into the dumpster and eat Twinkies and shit.
Yeah, Twinkie heaven. Cool.
Yeah.
Twinkie heaven means something else now.
Oh, there's your term. I don't know what that means. What does it mean?
No, I mean, I was kidding. But like twinks in gay culture.
Oh, I thought that was a real term. I was excited.
Yeah, Twinkie. Twinkie heaven could be a good name for a gay party.
Yes. That was my first job. What was yours?
I worked at Posh Bagel in Los Gatos. I cut bagels and schmear on there.
Yeah, it sounds like a pretty that's like a normal first job kind of thing.
Yeah, but it was like a 6 a.m., 6 to noon or something. My mom would drop me off. And then
how old were you?
15.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah. And then I worked at a video shop, like a video store, renting tapes
like a
and
Blockbuster?
Stuff. No, it was like a little mom and pop. And we had a behind the green doors, which was all the pornos.
Oh.
Yeah, I had access to all those video pornos that like
behind the curtain,
Behind the curtain.
Or they were always like saloon doors, like wooden.
They were green saloon doors. They were literally green saloon doors.
I don't know why. That's where the adult section was.
And it wasn't like they made noise too. You knew when someone was going in there.
Hey, did you always find it weird and uncomfortable going in the adult section, and then there's other dudes in there, and you guys are all just standing there looking at the covers of the movies, but there's no conversation? It was just kind of weirdness.
I never did that because like around that same time, like I had access to the internet.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, I'm older than you.
Yeah. That was all you could get, right? Was videos and magazines.
Yeah, and you would leave, and then it would be in like a black bag, and you would always leave with so much shame. I mean, I don't think I ever rented an adult movie, but I remember going in. I was always going back there just to be curious. But it was weird just standing next to other guys.
Yeah,
I've never ran into a woman in there.
Well, you think that's weird. What about when you're the guy that goes and rents the video and gives it to a little 16-year-old to like ring up?
Someone did that to you?
Well, no, because I was working at the video store. So if you rented adult videos, you'd have to bring it up. You bring the box up, Debbie Does Dallas or Gangbang 17.
Debbie Does Dallas. Okay, yes. That's a classic.
We had that. And then I'd have to ring them up and put it in a bag. And that's weird, right? That you're giving like a box with throbbing cocks to a 16-year-old.
Yeah. And you're also judging them even though you're working at the store, you're definitely judging them. Debbie Does Dallas, back when porn had stories. You're like, oh, this fucking dad.
Yeah.
And this uncle.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, cool. So I have another question for you, John. All right. Let's go there. Let's go here. What's your favorite position?
Well, yours is missionary.
Yes. How do you know that?
I have a great memory.
No. I guess for some things, you perv.
Uh, well, last night when we were together and I wanted to go doggy, you said, John, my favorite position is, you
That's right.
mentioned it on the
Nice.
podcast. You mentioned that on the podcast. You
Oh,
said,
cool.
and I think you said Mish. You got
Mish.
a short form. You said
Yeah,
Mish.
Mish.
Is that a
Yeah.
word you use?
I guess.
It is.
No, not really.
You said Mish. You said Mish is where it's my favorite.
Mish is where it's at.
You might have said that with eye contact, and it's one of my favorite. Right. So my favorite position is a moving target. So it's always rotating.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
acrobatic.
I don't
It's a
have
workout. It's a WOD.
it's a wad. It's for time. I don't have a favorite position, and it's that's like my ice cream flavor. It's always changing. So my current favorite position is, she's sitting in front of me. I'm behind her. It's not doggy, but she's kind of sitting right, and I'm smelling her hair. I'm behind her.
Are you
We're
sitting?
I'm on. We're both on our
Oh,
knees.
you're kneeling.
So
Okay, I got it. So it's
we're
like a
kneeling.
double.
We're both kneeling.
It's a double kneeling camel situation.
Yes, exactly. And
Yeah,
then I get to adjust by either leaning back on my hands or moving forward. But there's something erotic and sexy to me about witnessing the back, smelling her hair, seeing her back. I don't know, just little subtle things like that. It's almost like like a voyeuristic. I'm watching because I'm sitting behind her. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my favorite.
The double kneeling camel for
The
now.
double kneeling camel,
Yeah.
which I believe you just made up, is my current sexual position. The double kneeling camel. First heard that here on We Can Do Better.
That's cool. Do your quads get that's a good quad stretch.
So if I can't do the double kneeling camel post a leg day because
Right.
if I did legs, they start cramping up, and then I'm like, it doesn't work.
But yeah, I could see a good stretch going on there.
Dude, there's nothing worse than a cramp when your partner's about to orgasm, and the word is like, they'll say right there or almost there, or
Don't
keep
stop.
doing that.
Yeah.
What?
Don't stop.
And you're cramping, or like you have to fart, or something is happening where you're like, oh my God, I have to keep doing this. I can't stop, but there's something wrong happening to me.
Yeah.
It's a very strange sensation. It feels good, but it's painful and it's confusing. And then internally you're like tying that to manhood. And if, I need to make my partner have an orgasm and all that pressure.
Yeah. Yeah. And well, there's pressure there, and you obviously want your partner to experience pleasure. For me, when they say don't stop, that might send me over the edge. Unfortunately.
Because it turns you on.
Yeah. And then I come like right before they do, and then the whole thing's ruined.
Oh God, that's hilarious. So talking turns me on. I don't know if it turns you on, but yeah, you're right. Like, don't stop, or right there. Like anything verbal, that's not acting. So not the acting shit.
Yeah.
Not like, that takes me out. But if it's genuine and verbal instruction, talking, all that kind of stuff, that really turns me on too. But that's funny. Like, they'll say, okay, don't stop. Oh, sorry.
I'd be like, don't say it. If you don't say it, just do it, and I'll,
yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, yeah, mine's missionary, because I like the eye contact, the full body contact, the kissing, grabbing the ass.
That's great. But what if sometimes you're not in the mood for that? What if sometimes you just want to fuck? It's still missionary?
I'm rarely in the mood to just fuck.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's strange to me.
I want to make love most of the time.
But what if that's some people just want a quickie. You got 20 minutes. No, it has
20
to be
minutes. That's like a full session, isn't it?
Oh, to make love? 20 minutes because to make love, that means you need foreplay. You need, you need a long runway to make love.
Yeah, I just don't do a lot of quickies. I think I should probably get into it more quickies in the bathroom or something. I remember having a quickie in a restaurant bathroom, and it was very hot.
Oh, I like that. But that's definitely not into public spaces. I don't think I would do anything more than a rest. Like, I wouldn't be in the bushes somewhere. That's not my thing. But yeah, car, maybe restroom, public restroom. I like the idea of kind of like a bar, little dirty bathroom bar kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Saloon doors.
Yeah, I've never done it on an airplane. The Mile High. Yeah, it's so small in there. It's so tiny.
Also, it's just like people shit there. But okay, I know people shit in a restaurant bathroom too, but planes are dirty. They're very dirty.
I could only think of like if you met someone like a stranger on a plane and there's just this crazy sexual chemistry and it's organic and spontaneous and suddenly you follow them into the restroom and you do it. I could see that, but like a couple who's I don't know, the plane. It's not my
So I had that experience when I was 16.
You did not.
Yeah, with a woman named Junta, who I guess she must have been like Scandinavian or something.
Wait, how old was she?
She was my age. We were both 16-year-olds. And it was, yeah.
16-year-old went into the restroom?
No, didn't go into the bathroom. It was a red eye, and I had I had a whole row to myself, one of those 5-seat rows.
Right.
And so I was laying down, and then she sat down. She's like, can I lay down here too? And because we were like 5 rows is actually a lot of room.
Yeah,
you know? And so she laid down, and we started playing footsies.
Right.
Under the blankies at night, on a dark flight. And it was like a half full flight. So there was a lot of room.
Right.
And then we started like kind of fooling around, like grabbing each other. And like, I don't know if she might have jerked me off a little bit. Like no one came, but we like fooled around on a plane. Wow. And then we both had a layover in like in Paris, Charles de Gaulle. And we like hung out together for like 3-4 hours until our flights took off.
Oh, you got to know each other.
Yeah,
were
it was
you attracted
nice.
to her, or was it just convenient?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Wow.
Junta, if you're listening, DM me.
I think you've lived out a lot of my most people's fantasies. That doesn't
except for
happen.
Threesome with 2 women.
Oh, you have not had that yet.
No, that's one of my fantasies.
I think that's pretty executable. I think if you really wanted that, you can make that happen.
I always wanted it to happen organically.
Yeah. Oh, you don't want to pay for it.
No. Well, I certainly don't want to pay for it, but I don't want to have to organize it, which I'm pretty sure I could organize it.
How would that happen organically, though?
I don't know. I'm at a bar,
at a coffee shop,
maybe at a bar, but at a party or something. This woman comes up to me and she's like, "Hey, I know this is really forward." And it has
a friend.
Yeah,
and then the chances of that friend also being attractive. I mean, Shaun.
Dude, I'm a fantasy guy. I'm waiting for fucking.
You have to arrange something like that. That requires an app.
Yeah, I could call 2 people, and we could make it happen for sure.
Yeah, but then what are the chances of those 2 people wanting to be with each other?
I have friends who are sex positive and who would just be into the experience, and it would work.
Oh well, there we go. Another experience that to check off your list while you're in Los Angeles.
I had something. Damn it, it was good. Oh well, it'll come back. It was
all right, want to get to questions?
I guess. Yeah.
We spent most of the time just talking. The concept of the show is definitely not front loaded. That's at the end. It's actually punctuation. The concept of the show is just a period at the end of our 52-minute conversation.
We're just trying. Yeah, we just like talking to each other. What are we gonna? I'm not going to apologize for that.
Well, we can do better. We're supposed to be answering questions, Shaun.
All right. Well, here we go. Let's answer a question.
Hey, Autumn, if you have a friend and you guys want to have a threesome with Shaun, you could send all inquiries to
the angry therapist.
Yes, I will be your matchmaker.
Yeah, my madam.
Hey, what is the red pill? The men, she said the men with red pills taking the red pill. We are a fresh antidote to men with the red. She said something about the
Oh,
red pill.
you don't know about the red pill?
No, I don't know about the red pill.
You know, you remember the Matrix?
Oh, the blue pill, red pill. Yes.
Yeah. So like one of them, you stay in regular land, and then the other one you jump into the Matrix.
So what's the red pill?
I think the red pill. Okay, I'm sorry for people if we get this wrong, but I think the red pill is you jump into the Matrix, and then you start seeing how, like everything is against men.
Oh,
Sorry.
interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing. I thought she was talking about politics, but
No, so the red pill is like your Andrew Tates, right? Your incels who are sort of like railing against women and how like men are a dying breed and we're getting, I don't know, again, I don't
soft. We're getting too soft. We need to man up. We need to go, run, 5 miles a day and get shredded and make money.
And the like power is being stripped from us or something. Yeah. And so we're an antidote to that. We're an antidote to the red pill.
We're the soft electric EV driving.
Yeah.
Love making.
Feelings
expressing.
Yeah. Missionary. Yeah. Feelings. Trying to be nice to our mom.
Trying to be nice to our moms. Exactly. Hey, let's make our first t-shirt. We can do better. Be nice to your mom.
Be nice to your mom. That's good. We should have merch.
Be nice to your mom. That would be, dude. I don't know how many men would rock that shirt, but if I saw a man rock that shirt, I would fist bump him or chest bump him. Or just give him a hug. Give him a hug. Yeah. My answer is this. It would only work if the person who is an addict is in recovery, right? So
she didn't say addict, just to be clear here.
Oh, what did she say?
She just said mixed sobriety, where one person's drinking and the other one's not. So it doesn't necessarily mean addiction.
Oh, well, if it's not addiction, I think it's okay unless you or the person feels like there's a problem with the drinking. If there's a problem with the drinking or drugs or whatever it is, then it is probably an addiction, right? So like, to me, I feel like it's that it baked into the question that it is an addiction, because if it wasn't an addiction, there would be no problem. I don't think there's a problem with any kind of vice, quote unquote vice, if it's manageable. So whether that is drinking or doing or whatever it is.
So not necessarily, like as a sober person, I've been sober 16 years. I think if you're sober and you're in recovery, it can be tricky to be in a relationship with someone who drinks recreationally. Right?
Really?
Because I mean, it depends where you are in your sobriety. Like at where I am now, I feel pretty confident going into, spaces where people drink and hang around people who drink. But I also get really bored by drunk people. Like very quickly.
No, drunk people but people who can't control their alcohol, I can't be around.
Even just regular drunk people sometimes are boring, right? Like, so I guess, so it depends. I naturally gravitate towards people who don't drink. Just normally. They're not in recovery. They just don't like alcohol. And it's a lot cooler now to not like alcohol, right? There's the whole zero proof movement and all that kind of stuff. And the California sober and all that stuff. But if you're sober, sometimes it can be activating. And so I gravitate towards people who don't drink at all or just a little bit. And for me, that's not a problem.
Yeah.
It's only a problem if I guess it's only a problem if it's like a daily thing. But again, I have a buddy who's been sober for 25 years.
But if it's a daily thing, then it's a problem. It's an addiction.
Well, no, because I have a friend who's been sober for 25 years and his wife has a cocktail every night. One cocktail.
Right. Or a glass of wine or something.
Or a glass of wine. Yeah. Right. And she's not an alcoholic. She just enjoys a glass of wine at the end of the day, just like you enjoy a cup of coffee in the morning. Right.
Right.
So I think it depends on the person. I will say if you're in a relationship with an active addict or alcoholic, that's problematic. That's going to be hard to maintain a relationship.
Any addiction.
And if that is you, if you're in a relationship or if there's somebody in your life that is an addict and you are struggling with their alcoholism, then you need to go to Al-Anon, which is the support group for people who are in relationships with addicts. And they work a 12-step program that's the same as Alcoholics Anonymous, right? Like they are powerless over alcohol. They are powerless over someone else's use of alcohol. And it can give you some amazing tools for being in a relationship and how to like maintain your boundaries and take care of yourself while being in a relationship with these people.
I think it's less about the drug. So whether it's alcohol, sex, gambling, whatever the drug is, and more about the behavior, the hiding, the lying, the cheating, the dishonesty. Usually, if you're an addict, the drug that you're using, your drug of choice, comes before the relationship. Like that's always going to be at the top, and so that to me is what can be destructive and damaging. Yeah, if someone feels like they could have a glass of wine a night, every night, like I have coffee in the morning, uh, it depends on the individual if that works for you. If that works for you, great. If that doesn't work for you because you may be recovering or because that's a trigger or it just doesn't work for you, then that's okay too. Then you have to find someone else who doesn't do that, right? So it's the behavior.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. And also, I've noticed that there are some people, when they have one drink, they become a different person. Like you can tell, the eyes get cloudy.
That's a problem. Yeah.
And they might not become a person you don't like, but they're no longer the person that you know. And then there are other people, they have a drink, they're just like themselves, but a little funnier, or a little bit more animated.
Yeah. If you become a different person, there's an unsafety. There's something about that feels unsafe. If you're slightly funnier, to me, that feels okay. It's if it's an extension of what's already in you, I think that might be okay, slightly turned up. But if you're a whole different person, to me, I don't feel safe with that person.
Yeah, I've had relationships with people, like friendships and family members, where when they drank, they became someone I didn't recognize anymore, and it wasn't fun being around them.
Because my dad's an alcoholic, if you are on drugs and alcohol in front of me and you're like just belligerent, I have to leave the room. I literally have to leave, or I will either want to fight you, or our relationship will change very fast if I don't leave. So I can't be around alcoholics actively drinking or using or drug addicts.
I was a fun drug addict.
I could see you being a fun, like I probably wouldn't even know that you were on drugs.
Yeah, you would know.
Yeah,
you would know, but it maybe wouldn't bother you so much because I was a party boy. I just liked having fun. Like I never got angry, or it was all just more fun. Like I just wanted to have more fun. So
can I also say though, I find addicts to be the most charming, the most charismatic, the funnest, and also they're amazing people. They're heart-filled, they're compassionate. Yes, they have demons like everyone else, but behind the addiction, a lot of addicts are like beautiful, amazing people.
Yeah, 100%. Not all of them.
Not all of them. I said
some of them are fucking nightmares, and horrible, they're running from all their problems and their
destruction and hurting other people. Yeah.
But it's true. I mean, I have a friend who she's just in love with addicts. She loves addicts in recovery or not in recovery.
Yeah.
And she just, I don't know what it is exactly, but I think it's something that you're talking about, right? Heart-filled.
Yeah, but there's something about that. There's something about that also kind of throws up a pink flag. If you just
for sure.
It's almost like the person who just rescues animals. Almost like where Ace Ventura, like they have so many animals, they can't stop doing it because they have a big heart and they're compassionate, but they have this addiction to rescuing. Like it gives them a cape or something. And so a lot of people get into relationships with addicts because that's just all they're drawn to, is like they're almost like it's a rescue.
Oh, well, they're codependent.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're codependent.
Yeah. Finding worth in saving someone else, helping someone else.
Yeah, and that's their struggle, right? Is being attracted to people like that and wanting to save them or yeah, there's a whole thing there.
I got to be kinder to my mom and relieve her.
Okay, like right now.
I mean, not right now. We have a few seconds, but just throwing that out there.
Yeah. Well, we end on the hour every time. Yeah, we're very consistent.
Yes, we are. Hey, if you want to hang out with Shaun and I in person,
we're going to be at Pharaoh's today, working out.
Oh, dude. Oh my! Do you really want stalkers and shit?
No, I mean, do people know where you work out, right?
No people know it's on the background of my videos.
Okay, real quick.
I was talking about a retreat. What the hell are you talking about?
Real quick before you plug the retreat, I went to the gym this week and I took a class and there's a trainer there named Nick. He's all full of tattoos and stuff. And I was like, he's like, oh, what brought you here? I'm like, oh, John Kim, He's like, yeah, that guy always looks angry. I've never been able to go talk to that guy.
He said that? Oh, God.
Yeah.
That, dude, this is something for 15 years I've been saying I need to work on. I've improved. Shaun, you know where it comes from? Okay, just real quick. In the 80s, because I was a runt and I was part of a breakdancing crew, they were all like 16. I was like 9, dude. I didn't have the size and I had crooked teeth. I was really insecure about smiling. So I just looked fucking hard. Like that was my default. Every photo I'm looking like this, like a little 9-year-old, like, oh, trying to look really hard. And that was so ingrained in me. The combination of trying to fit in and then having crooked teeth, not having braces, all the way up until high school, I just always just looked mean.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't a smiley guy. I'm just not. I'm very pensive,
Yeah. I mean, it's cool that you were hanging out with 16-year-olds as a 9-year-old, right? Like that gives you some cred.
I was scared that if I started smiling, they would kick me out.
Yeah.
Because I was too small.
Well,
I need to
maybe you can be
more.
smile. Yeah, you should smile more.
I don't like when I hear that because now I'm insecure about it. And I don't like that people think I'm a dick or angry or cocky or any of that. And I know a lot of people do in my real life. Not on the internet, but on my real life.
That's interesting because I don't see you as that at all.
Yeah, because you know me.
Yeah.
No, once people know me, they don't think they see that.
Women like it when you tell them to smile more also.
They love that shit. Yeah. And kids love it when you tell them to be careful. And men love it when you tell them to man up.
Man up. Yeah, for sure. That's my favorite. Stop crying.
And also parents love it when you say it was because of them.
Parents love it when you say, thank you, Mom, I love you. Thank you for everything you've done to me.
That's what they really love.
Yeah. Thanks for everything you've done. Okay, we have a retreat coming up. February 14th, 15th, 16th. It's called Love Thyself, a winter retreat for singles. John and I in Idlewild, California. We're going to wear onesies. We're going to do process group. We're going to do ice bath. We're going to do hike. We're going to cozy up next to the fireplace. We're doing Q&A. We're doing workshops. It's half sold out. So that's amazing because it's like a month and a half away.
We haven't even posted about it. We just talked about it on this podcast. It's all from our audience. Shaun, the fantasy threesome with 2 women, not happening at the retreat. Just letting you know.
Oh, no, because it'll be with like 7.
Oh, 7. Oh, is that your new fantasy? 7 women at the retreat
7
house?
women. Yeah, no, we're not sleeping with anybody at the retreat.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe John, I don't know what you and Vanessa have as an agreement, but...
No, I'm not sleeping with my clients.
But I will... John's changed his tune a little bit.
Are you trying to get me canceled? You're trying to get me canceled, Shaun? Don't even joke about that because someone will take that clip and they'll be like, "Holy shit, the angry therapist." I can't even say it because if I say it, they'll take that clip of it.
You said it. You're the one who said, "Hey, we should hook up with our listeners."
I used to joke about it because it was so shocking, and now I'm like, dude, you can't even joke about that shit. Someone's gonna use it anyway. No orgies happening, Shaun.
No orgies. I will be firing up the sauna. I'm firing up the sauna. So just know that. Okay. And it's a no textile situation.
Yeah. We're doing, and it's V-Day. It's Valentine's Day. So it's going to be extra special.
I'm excited. There's like a cookie thing happening, special cookies.
Our chef is making special heart-shaped cookies. And
then we get to
do an exercise where, because we're making it a little bit therapeutic, you're going to put a word on that cookie. And we're going to go around and see what that word means to you. So you're actually literally going to write the word on your cookie.
And then we can eat it.
Oh, it'd be cool if we exchange the cookie. Eat someone else's word. No,
we've got a lot of ideas. I think we should also do a little burning ceremony where we burn.
Oh, we do. Yeah, we do. We have a fireplace. That's not something that you just turn on. You have to actually light the fire, which I cannot do because I'm a city boy. But Shaun's here, so Shaun will light this. Oh, Sarah's there. Sarah
will light the fire.
Yeah, Sarah lights the fire.
Yeah, Sarah light. We have a photographer, videographer,
and
ice
adventure coach. She's an awesome adventure coach. All right, so go to that, and then also I want to say, now that Shaun's in LA, Shaun and I are going to hang out more often, just casually in coffee shops, so you can run into us on Hillhurst in Los Feliz because that's kind of the area that we hang out. It's very kind of New York. That's whole street, Blue Bottle, all time. That other coffee shop where there's always a line. That whole street.
You are going to inspire me to write a book, I think.
I want to push you to write a book. I just don't want to be annoying. I don't want to be like my mom and nag you. But yeah, dude, I keep telling you, you need to start writing a book. You could run ideas by me, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
let's do
gonna
it.
use you. I'm a slow. It takes me a while. I'm
Yeah.
a marathon guy.
Yeah, but once you get in it, you do commit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I would like it if you wrote your book on Hillhurst, because that's where I wrote my books, and then we would have
I
that in
would love
common.
to write my book, and it's so close to my house.
Well, that's where you run into other people who are writing books, and right next to you.
Hey, you know who lives not too far from there?
All the celebrities live up the street in the mansions in that area.
Natalie Portman.
Yes, I've seen her many times on hikes, but I think she has many houses.
Yeah, but yeah. You know, she's my like number one celebrity crush.
She's a lot of people's number one. I mean,
I know,
she's
but
beautiful.
she's mine.
I think she's played out as far as she's been
Whoa.
kind of the go-to. Well, played out. Look, I'm not trying to take away from her beauty, but like when someone says, "Who's your celebrity crush?" I'm sick of hearing the same names: Natalie Portman, Jared Leto. Who else? Used to be Johnny Depp, Brad Pitt. Like I'm sick of hearing the same names.
You want
so
new?
Yeah. But the problem is there are no more celebrities. Celebrities dead. So I don't even know who celebrities are anymore. So if you were to ask me, I would just be like, "Oh, that girl from Los Freakies," or something.
Heather Locklear.
Heather Thomas.
Shannon Doherty from 90210.
No.
Hey, Natalie, if you're listening, you're not played out in my heart.
Natalie, hang out with us. We'll be in Los Feliz.
No, hang out with me.
Hey, did you know real quick? I know we have to go. Vanessa did karaoke with Natalie Portman and a bunch of people in a karaoke room once back in the
Cool.
day. Yeah.
That happens in LA. Things like that happen in LA.
Time. This was in New York, but yeah, friends of friends.
Oh, okay. Cool.
You know who else lives up in the hills that I went to high school with? Eva Mendes. And right in that area with, I used to see Ryan Gosling. Oh, another name that's played out. Who's your celebrity crush, Ryan? How many times have we heard Ryan Gosling?
I mean,
so many times.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, he was always sitting at Little Dom's with his agent or someone in between.
So fun.
Lunch and dinner. Dude, when you live in LA, as long as I have, they're just celebrities are just become.
They're people too, John.
They are people. I think I've seen every celebrity except Brad Pitt,
Bieber,
and Justin Bieber.
Okay, last thing.
Yes.
My favorite part of People magazine is the page where it's like celebrities, they're just like us, and their photos of them like going to get coffee.
like drinking, like in sweats and.
Yeah, that's my favorite. I love that so much.
Oh, because it's so like real.
Yeah, they're just real people. They have to go to fucking Dunkin' Donuts. Dude, they have to.
You know what? That was the first social media before social media. That section.
Yeah.
That's
a good point.
Unpolished, coming out of cars. Hair looks like crazy. Like that was the For You page before.
Just like a Thursday going to
Vaughn's. I love that. Yeah.
To get
and it just shows
milk,
up to people.
Eggs.
All right, well,
everybody.
You can see disheveled Shaun and John in Los Feliz on Hillhurst.
Or at Pharos in Echo Park. 657-549-1001.
Thank you for listening. Be well.
Have a beautiful week.